Ladies and gentlemen, we like to start. Okay, if you look on the program, we're coming now to the active part from your side. And we have distilled three subjects what we like to discuss. But to have a fruitful discussion, we think that the best thing what we can do is make subgroups and discuss for 20 minutes or so. And then we have from each group a presenter what is presenting the ideas from that particular group. And by presenting the ideas, we can speak together or discuss together over the ideas coming out the different groups. Is that clear? I think we are with something like 30 or even more. And so what I like to do is creating three groups. So if and then the assignment is point 1. In our study and presentation, we have example presented of the Point Loma as a mystery school. That is the subject. What qualities would a modern day mystery school contain and expressed? So, 20 minutes. 20 minutes for the first question. Okay. Yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Which group like to present first? Monica will present. I hope that the question was clear. Repeat the question. In our study, you can read it on the board, yes. In our study and presentations, we have the example presented of Point Loma as a mystery school. What qualities would a modern day mystery school contain and express?
We found that the qualities that a mystery school should contain and express are those embodied in the paramitas. Thank you. we have more comments in how would we recognize the schools.
Yeah. And how many parameters do you have in mind? 7, 10 or 12?
As many as possible.
Okay, yes? That is just the principle, the more is better. Yeah.
We found that the mystery schools should be recognized by the type of teaching, and in that is included serving humanity, to have an element of spiritual, authentic, transformational way in which they teach. Do not interfere with the free will. Another point in how we recognize the schools should be after their results that should be embodied in the teachings, and we should recognize the tree after their fruit, after its fruits. One other point is they should have a bodhisattvic hierarchy. That means we should make contact with our higher self, and this should be the critic of all our actions, and they should resonate with our inner self.
Thank you. Questions about this from the other groups? Okay. Okay, Monica, thank you. Before we start the discussion, Sorry? No, we do only one question at a time. Otherwise it becomes too complicated for me. Sorry?
Yeah, yes, Yes, we are practicing the paramitas, but we are striving. Being a student of this mystery school means that we are striving to become a mystery school ourselves.
Good, good. Astrid.
We came up that mystery school is a place where it creates the ability to be an incubator for the development of inner growth of pupils. The second thing is that it is a place where you can develop the steps for inner preparedness. What they say is the fruit ripens before it falls from the tree. And these steps are to gain knowledge about mystery ideas, to make the original ideas yourself, start to learn to live the truth. And the third one is to teach yourself, to talk about it and share it with other people. These are 3 smaller initiations that can take place at this external mystery school before you have a larger initiation to see where is my oh that comes later before you have a larger initiation such as a solstitium, or that can take place at solstitiums or equinoxes. This is the development that you have to make before you want to become a member of a internal mystery school. And that is to let's see. Okay, the larger initiation is where you teach universal principles which are not contradicting or in conflict with any religion. And we come up that, for instance, the Blavatsky house could be an example of an external mystery school where you train these 3 steps before you are ready to, and when the teachers will find you to enter the internal mystery school. To summarize this, the mystery school is creating a sphere or a biotope in which the inner development of the pupils is fostered, so the inner truth becomes revealed with help of the teachers.
Perhaps we talk too much and didn't write so beautifully, so I have to do it by heart. One of the first things the group was saying was any mystery school must be an expression of compassion and wisdom, first of all, and must be structured as a hierarchy. And Nicholas said with all compartments and so on, and there was also said it must have the Guru Parampara succession, and it must be built according to nature, to the way nature is built. And then what was happening in the mystery school is that, the same as was said by you, you have first the 3 initiations, difficult to see happening, for it is living the life, not studying and initiating out of the body, but simply studying and living the life. And the group said, living the pledge. And the pledge, as was said, is a pledge to one's higher self and to no one else. And the mystery school works to accelerate the growth of the students into teachers. So it's not only simply studying, but the thing that people grow faster to become a teacher for others. And how does the mystery school go outward? Oh, perhaps already question 2. That is that the mystery school must be able to inspire others. The teachings must be alive, serve all humanity, translated to actual needs in the world. And then was the question, how do you recognize a mystery school? And that was the question that was very important for us. And you can only recognize a mystery school when you yourself live on the level that you can recognize Buddhi in others. Otherwise, it's so difficult to see it. And I think, what did I forget? People, group members. It's good. Okay. Yeah.
I think this is a nice opportunity to start the discussion. Who want to react on the conclusions? Bianca.
Well, it's clear that we touched common ground. Compassion is a word that I heard from all 3 groups. And compassion is connected to the Buddhi in everybody. And the Buddhi is the source for every mystery school, whether it's in a place or in a situation or in somebody's character. And recognizing a mystery school is recognizing your inner self and working from there to the benefit of the higher self, which is everybody.
Other people?
I just thought of one thing about the qualities. Qualities is a little abstract, but in one of the famous Buddhist sutras, there's a whole section giving qualities of bodhisattvas, and they were very prosaic in that section. You know, healing like a doctor, agriculture, technology, making things that benefit. So anything that benefits. We don't just have, you know, teachers, scholarship, ideas. There's also the ordinary, helpful building roads, anything like that, if you could do it in the right spirit. So the school would also train. Matter of fact, you might look at medical colleges, things like that, as branches of a mystery school.
Absolutely agreeing with you. Yep. Yep. Other points? Eldon?
This brings up the fact that there's 2 types of things that could be training in schools. One is someone goes to school to train to be proficient at some form of service that they go out in the world to do. And that service may not involve teaching other people. It might involve doing something that they're creative and skilled at and will be of great benefit to the world. The other type of training is like in college, people that might stay behind and want to be professors, where their specialty in helping is to just train other people. So the end product of mystery schools isn't just to have more people running mystery schools. It may be to have large numbers of people to pass through and go out and be an artist or be an engineer or be a politician or be something else in the world. And that's their greatest good.
I think Eldon is right. Not only teaching others is what we try to do, but inspiring others. And you can do that on 1,000 different ways. But the inspirational aspect is the most important, and not a teachings aspect. So if an artist inspires us, it's okay. But if he only earns his living by throwing paint on the wall, then it's not an inspiring person for me. So on every part of society, you can be an inspiration.
Well, the big question, of course, is a mystery school. Is there a wall around it or not? A physical wall around it or not? Yeah. And if you say no, then we are in line with Eldon. And then you can see that that idea should be, let's say, injected or induced, or how do you want to call it, in society everywhere as possible.
I would just like to emphasize one thing, because there's a lot of focus on this way inside and knowing ourselves and knowing our higher selves and the path. But I think that one of the elemental characteristics of nature is cooperation. So I think what we're doing here together is we're learning again to work together across this globe. And I think that's one very important other criteria that we can set to make sure that we become prepared for a mystery school to appear. So working together, and I've heard this morning a lot of stories about separate initiatives. There's websites and there's fora, some are dead or some are alive, but we have to find a way to find each other and work together. Thank you.
It was just a comment following what was said about going into the world and inspire. One of the last things we discussed in this group was the word tathagata, which is stepping into the steps of the teacher, and then teaching is much more than being a tutor, but it is living the life and shining a light on it, so that everybody who wants to discover the life can see light and find the steps to follow.
Thank you. Some other remarks?
It was not mentioned by the other groups, but in our group we had also this discussion about, okay, how can you recognize a hypothetical mystery school, but there was from our chairman a very interesting observation and a question also in our direction saying, okay, and have you in your life been able to recognize forms of a mystery school, and besides what we already know in our small environment, have seen any examples of what you could, if you anyway would look in depth in such a situation, which you could label as a mystery school. So Dalai Lama and some other examples were mentioned, so that's also maybe an interesting line of thinking to have examples more or less elaborated in your mind.
The first question was actually, if you're riding the bus, how do you know the person sitting next to you isn't a Mahatma?
A good question.
So it's always a good idea to think that way, that maybe they are.
Well, we are in poor condition because we're driving cars over here. So maybe we miss a lot of opportunities. Yeah. Sorry? Yeah, oh, that is even worse. Yeah. Good. Are there other questions or not? Then I think we have a half hour left for our second point.